At 12 p.m. on December 5, 2007, a nightclub called for help. At that time, a total of 4 vehicles, 15 investigators, 3 fire trucks, and 5 ambulances were dispatched. The reason was that dozens of calls were made to the police station, and the voices on the phone were all screaming for help. In particular, the background sounded like explosions and strong whines. However, when all the personnel arrived at the location fully armed, they found that the nightclub was pitch black. At first, people tried to enter the nightclub but found that the door was locked. Later, they used a fire axe to break open the door, and they were all shocked. In such a small place at the door, they found a large group of people crowded together, and basically all of them were suffocated and fainted. Some investigators broke open the back door and saw that the situation was exactly the same. It took about 3 hours to finally clear all the victims from the door. Finally, it was found that 4 people were squeezed to death at the front door and 3 people were squeezed to death at the back door. There were more than 70 survivors, all squeezed together and fainted. This group of people were basically guests and maids, and there were also security guards. When I went in, I was shocked. All the glass was broken, the ground was full of wine, and the wooden chairs and tables were all broken. The iron products were bent into spirals by external forces. The strangest thing is that there was no fire or explosion. So why did people run away? After entering, 3 maids were carried out one after another. They were all lying on the ground. The 3 of them just fainted and were not injured. The investigators started questioning overnight. One of the maids was named Jong-yu, now 20 years old. She said that at 9 o'clock that night, a man in a white suit came. He was about 1.9 meters tall, looked very strange, about 40 years old, and carried a very beautiful big black leather bag. He ordered more than 6,000 yuan of famous wine at the time and called for maids to drink with her at once, and the consumption was particularly high. But this man was very lustful, touching her, drinking like crazy, and drinking 1 glass at a time. Later, a woman asked, "Your bag is very beautiful. What's in it?" The man in white said, "Don't touch it and don't care what's in it." Then he continued to drink. At 11:30, he said he was going to the bathroom. Before leaving, he reminded me not to open it, and he would be back soon. As soon as he left, another woman who was drunk said, "You don't let me see it, but I want to see what's in it." As soon as he opened it, the lights went out, the music stopped, and even the roof disappeared. The sky was full of rolling clouds and fog, and then there was an earthquake. I saw a fireball flying over 5 meters above my head, and it exploded above my head, but it was not hot at all. And there was a strong wind, and the sound was very loud. The most frightening thing was that a large black shadow ran around in the house, and then everything was smashed, but I couldn't see clearly what it was. Then I heard people around shouting and screaming. Someone ran towards the door, and the strong wind began to blow towards the door. Later, the wind was so strong that people were floating up. It felt like the door was a vacuum cleaner, and I saw people being sucked in with my own eyes. Finally, the man in white clothes came back, closed the bag, and then everything stopped. He started to scold me, saying, "I told you not to open the door. Why didn't you listen?" I said, "It wasn't me who opened it. Please forgive me." Then he took the bag and left, and I don't know how he got out. Anyway, he was gone in the blink of an eye. Later, I asked many survivors. Basically, what they saw was similar.